Brothers and sisters of the Imperium, we've got some massive new news today for Space Marine 2, but this is not just a Space Marine 2 video, even though it's titled as a Space Marine 2 video. We also have some new news on the Dawn of War series. Some news that may actually make people happy who haven't yet played the game, who have just joined the hobby, but also this could be something big going forward. I kind of need a foil for this video because it looks like maybe it's time to get crusading again. So let's jump in and let's get waffling. So let's jump over to this window as we normally do because we've got some massive news regarding Space Marine 2. A brand new interview that we're going to break down, but also this news that you see on the window right now. The servers are down for maintenance as I'm recording this video. Hopefully by the time I finished, edited it all together and uploaded it, the servers will be back, and hopefully you people who are having problems connecting to servers, you won't have those problems anymore. It'll all be fixed and everyone can jump online, play online, purge against each other, and everything will be running smooth and fantastic. Fingers crossed for that. Also, by the way, can I just add towards the end of this little segment that I know I keep doing a lot of Space Marine 2 content on this channel. The thing is, I'm massively hyped for the game. I love informing you chaps. People keep saying, Valrak, you're doing an amazing job, and that gives me a boost and makes me want to report on it more and give you all the little bits of information. Hopefully, I'm not boring you all to, you know, tears and stuff like that. Mate, I want more 40k stuff, but the problem is that Games Workshop are basically going cold turkey now on Warhammer 40,000 till the end of this year. I hope they do start releasing stuff and put stuff out there, right? I love to see new models and everything like that, so hopefully we'll get more 40k news, but I just don't see anything big coming in the coming weeks or months leading up to Christmas. I'm sorry, brothers. And if we press on to the big news, which is a brand new interview, it's coming from the Well Played YouTube channel. This interview is by Ash. Ash has given me full permission to break down this video and go through some of the key points. He actually sent me a message over on Twitter and said, hey Valrak, I've just sat down with Oliver, who you can see is the creative director at Saber Interactive. He's one of the big boys at the top, right? He's the one who takes the game in certain directions and, you know, goes forward with all the brand new content that we're going to see. So I'm just going to put some PvP footage in the background right now as I break down some of the main points that really interested me in this video. If you want to go and watch the interview for yourself, please do. It's a fantastic interview. I'll include it in the link in the description of this video and also sticky it to the top comment of this video as well. Go over there, say, hey, well played, you're amazing, Valrak has sent me, and I love you in the Emperor's name. So just going over some of the important notes that I took, the game license for Space Marine 2 was given to Saber over 4.5 years ago. A lot of the production that they did was actually through Nurgle's Plague, aka Ronnie Rona, right? So, you know, a lot of stuff happened during that time. The game devs had access to all the codexes. Games Workshop basically sent them everything, every book they had, every codex they had. They sent them so many models that they decided to like just host monthly painting tournaments because GW sent them so much bloody stuff. Hey Games Workshop, you want to send me some stuff? I'll gladly take it off you. One of the things that was brought up in this interview, and we've talked about it a lot on my streams and everything like that, is on the roadmap it said new enemies. Now there's been some confusion in the community that new enemies means a new faction. A lot of people, myself, I predicted like Necrons with my foil video. I would love to see Necrons no matter what, but over on this interview, the creative director confirmed that it's not a new faction, it just means a new enemy type. Now the enemy type has already been decided. Actually Oliver was teasing Ash a little bit, saying, well, you know, I'm looking at it right now and it is like very, very scary and stuff. Basically he said you will have to adjust your play style to combat it. Now I have no idea what it could be. It could be something for Chaos. It could be something for the Thousand Suns. I'd probably lean on it's going to be something big for the Tyranids. Now, I'm not going to say like something, I don't know, like the Norm Emissary. Maybe it could be that, but that is like a big end game boss type of unit. So maybe it's not going to be at that level, maybe something smaller. Please give me your suggestions and feedback in the comment section to what you think it could be, because I'm really interested to see what it could be. Something that was mentioned as well is the new operation missions. The big thing is that the Battle of Valrak was just one of a bigger battlefield that was going on across the planet. We just seen a certain slice of the cake, more or less. There's more battles happening in other hive cities and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people were saying to me, hey Valrak, the way the story went, it was like we're fighting the Tyranids 1 second, and then we just went to the 1,000 Suns, and like, what happened to the Tyranids? Apparently that battle is still going on. There's a lot of mess that is still left over since the campaign ended. There's lots of corruption, Oliver said, that is still on the planet. So you got to have more operations going in, dealing with this type of mess, with this type of corruption, fighting still 1,000 Suns and Tyranids until the planet and the sector is clear of Xenos and heretical taint. Something that was connected to that as well, which was dropped, was the idea of possibly going to another planet to fight enemies. Like, the planets that we've seen are more or less like swamp planets and very, very Hive City Cathedral-esque types of setups, which have been amazing. But what about like maybe like a frozen planet or like a desert planet, something like that? And all of it was like, yeah, maybe that's something we can look into. But when you do that type of stuff, then it requires a lot more stuff. It requires like concept art, the artists, all the assets that are attached to it, map designers, everything like that, really, if you want to bring in a brand new like biome, a brand new just planet which has a different feel to it. So I can completely understand that. I do look forward to maybe potential future story DLCs when it is set on another planet. I do think that this game has hit a massive revenue in terms of profit. That's just my personal opinion at the moment. So I think like the big wigs at the top are like, you know what, this game is making us money. What if we invest more into it, right? Let's do it. Just give us all the stuff and we'll reward you with our money. That's the way I see it. Make good stuff, you get paid. One thing that was also said in the video, I think I heard this right, is that we will see Titus again, but in a separate story. Now, I'm wondering if that's a hint towards the Amazon stuff that we know is happening in December, and we know it's going to feature Titus, right? Titus is going to be in that. And if you watch if you played the campaign, then there's a big hint where this takes place in the whole story of Titus. I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil anything on this stream. Something else that was mentioned, which has been, again, another talking point on my streams and stuff, is different types of armor for the current Space Marines in the game. More veteran-y type of armor, like, Mark 7 helmets, Mark 6 beaky helmets, shoulder pads, Mark 5 studs and stuff like that. Technically, we do have that for Primaris Marines, because one of the things that was talked about was, the Primaris don't really have access to that, but the new Stern Guard kit now does have access to it. There may be some type of GW IP restrictions, which were kind of mentioned. They were kind of mentioned, not mentioned kind of thing. Like, it could be GW, it could not be GW. I don't think Oliver's going to say it's all GW's fault, but to be fair, it's no one's fault. It's just, he's not going to say go to GW and ask GW. What they did say, though, is that if you go over to the Focus site, which has a brand new form area now, and you can put ideas and suggestions, stuff in there, is if there's enough people saying, hey, we want beaky helmets, hey, we want Mark 7, Mark 3, helmets, shoulder pads and stuff like that, then what they can do is say, hey, look at all this stuff that these players want and take it to Games Workshop. Then maybe Games Workshop will say, do you know what, okay then, let's give it to him. Let's give it to him. Let's, there's a lot going on here. A lot of people want this type of stuff. It's going to make the game even more popular. Let's make this happen. So yeah, if you want those cool armor sets, let your voice be heard. The developers are absolutely reading everything. And the last thing I want to talk about is classes, because there's lots of potential to add new classes. It's what basically we've talked about kind of before. Librarians and chaplains were mentioned. Again, Oliver said when it comes to making new characters in the game, that takes a lot of resources. Animators, artists, You know, a lot of balance stuff that goes into it. The chaplain and the librarian was dropped, and it was mentioned, like, you know, if you have the librarian, then what type of buffs it would give you. Same with the librarian. Sorry, did I say librarian or chaplain? Well, both of them anyway. Would take a lot of work in terms of resources and balance and stuff like that. Technically, if you had the chaplain, you can have the chaplain for the Space Marines, and then PvP, you have a Dark Apostle. And if you have a librarian, you just have to make the librarian model for the Space Marines side, right? And you've already got the Chaos Sorcerers sorted because they feature in the game. Space Marine 2, 1,000 Sun there we go. The 1,000 Suns are technically in the game as well, looking absolutely amazing because the 1,000 Sun models, the rubrics, the sorcerers, everything like that did look fantastic. So maybe that is the direction they could go in. Maybe librarians first, chaplains after that, apothecaries. Yeah, no, yes. You tell me, what do you think? What should be the next class added to Space Marine 2? And lastly, let's jump over here and talk about Dawn of War. Did you enjoy the PvP video? I know you did, right? I'm undefeated. I can't be beat. It's getting silly at this point how good I am in Space Marine 2. So something big happened with Dawn of War. They've just upgraded Dawn of War 1 and Dawn of War 2 into two, well, in their words, fantastic anniversary editions, which include all the content from the games and their DLC. And if you actually go over on the Steam forums, or should I say the Steam store at the moment, hang on, let me proceed. Don't worry, Steam's not trying to rob me, it's okay. Mate, it's selling for £8. £8 anniversary edition for Dawn of War and all the DLC and everything that was a part of it. This is the steal of the century. I know there's a lot of new people that have jumped on the bandwagon with Space Marine 2, and I'll say to you new people right now, go out, buy Dawn of War 1 and buy Dawn of War 2. Trust me, you will absolutely love the stories, the cinematics from back in the day and stuff like that, the characters that you'll meet. This is one of the biggest Warhammer 40k games that was, well, that's ever been. The only thing bigger, technically, is maybe Space Marine 2 right now. But I would definitely go and suggest go out and buy that. Retribution Chaos Rising in the Dawn of 2 pack and all the army skins and stuff. Dawn of War 1, you get even more. There's so many expansions for that. Winter Assault and stuff. Absolutely fantastic game. But do you know what this means? What I personally think could happen now? With the success of Space Marine 2, maybe some developers are turning their head now to the other established games in the franchise. One being the Dawn of War series. We all know what happened with Dawn of War 3. I don't like to say it like I don't like to say Voldemort, right? Because it makes me feel physically sick. Like, Dawn of War ended at Dawn of War 2 for me. There was never a Dawn of War 3. That game just was not a Dawn of War game. I don't care what anyone says to me. But maybe a company can come in now and say, hey, do you know what? Let's put some life into this. Look what happened to Space Marine 2. Look how popular that is, right? This is what the fans want. Is it time for us to make Dawn of War great again, just like we did with Space Marine? Do I have to start crusading and getting you all behind me so we can start emailing like Relic Entertainment or maybe some other studios to see if they can try and get the license and talk to someone at Games Workshop or something like that? This is what we want as Warhammer 40,000 fans. We want more awesome games that have awesome story that keep us entertained. That's all we want. Good stories, entertainment. It's as simple as that. If you give us that, we will spend our money on you day and night. Anyway, Chaperoonios, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. If you've got any thoughts and feedback, anything like that, post it down below and we can have a nice little chin wag down there as we always do. See ya. Have a great day and bye-bye.